talk a little bit quickly about how we can think about fiction or poetry under this kind of lens interface environment. So I usually recommend, again, as I said before, to think about this less in terms of a place that people might know or might have been to, and instead thinking of this bit of fiction in relation to what you can see and experience specifically on the map. Now, that might include existing street names or town names or feature names that are actually on the map already, or it might just simply be visual things that you can see. So oftentimes when people are doing this, they'll actually zoom in quite close. And sometimes instead of having a giant map of a bunch of different elements, they'll think instead about having, actually zooming in this close and actually thinking about the visual elements that you can see on this particular street, for example. So if I were thinking about a fiction here, this is a street in Australia, I might think about something related to pools. Everyone here in Australia seems to have a pool of some sort in their backyard or next to their house, and you can see a variety of different pools here. And so I might think, okay, well, I'm going to make individual little bits of fiction maybe tied to these pools. Maybe there is some sort of narrative line I can go through and tie together individual people's pools and relate that to some sort of fictional approach. And so you're almost thinking about this as a visual interface and what I like to call you're reading the landscape. So you're looking at what you can see on a map on the landscape and you're trying to read it. And then from your reading, you're developing some type of narrative from it. Even looking at things like this, like here's a house kind of shoved, there's another house shoved behind some other houses. Obviously done as a way to maximize property value, probably. And just how strange that is. You know, what a strange experience that must be for the people living there of having your house shoved in behind someone else's house. And so sometimes, I find that if you're struggling for inspiration, just go exploring. Pick a place at random or pick a place you know or pick a place you've heard of. And you can explore it that way. You can also just use a search feature and you can go and actually pick very specific places that you know about, or you could just start scrolling and start seeing if anything comes at you, anything seems particularly interesting. Cutthroat Casey. Oh, wow, that's kind of disturbing. One thing I find really strange about Australian houses are look how close they are. Australian property values are insane. And you would think with a giant country like this, with a lot of people, with a lot of land and not as many people, that you wouldn't have such expensive houses, but they're incredibly expensive here. And you'll see that the houses are incredibly close together, which I find really quite disturbing. You can almost jump from roof to roof, maybe. I think that's about as close as you get on this map. So look around, see what you see, and then think, okay, well, what can I make from this? What kind of narrative can I form based on the elements I'm seeing on the map?